Okay. Do you mind scrolling up here so I can see the master? Or just click and drag. There you go. See the master. There we go. Yep. Welcome to the Charlotte Curling Association, everyone. And we're gonna go ahead and slide it over their main sheet. There you go. Perfect. And welcome to Draw 3. We are in the second round of the A draw. We had the way that our 24 team spiel was, that doesn't divide easily into eights. It's 3/8, so you can do it through a bye or you can do a pool play or whatever. So we did a bye this week. So we're going to give you a rundown of all the teams that are playing on this draw. You've seen half of these teams if you've stayed with us. My name is Neil Pfeiffer. I'm the announcer for this draw. And I'm here joined. I know some of you were really excited and hopeful that Randy would join us again because eagle-eyed Randy, he noticed a bunch of those, all the biters and who was shot and all that. But I'm joined today by Peter Strickland. He's going to be helping me out and watching and entering the scores and keeping everything up. So we're going to start on sheet A, and we've got Team Hosian. And Team Hosian, he has asked for a last-minute name change to Coates and Hose. But it is Cameron Coates, Dave Coates, and I think Dawn is still playing. Oh, nope, it's Dave Van Brunt. How could I miss him? He is in the Incredibles outfit. I told you, people, I promised you costumes on the ice. And it looks like we don't need to be streaming to anyone because nobody is watching. So I can just talk to myself. So those of you that got noticed. So I'm just going to hang back here for a minute. I'm not even going to introduce it until we get our first few viewers on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the team so we don't get too far into the first end before that. So Team Hosian, I've already introduced. So they are playing the Spirit Hunters. And Spirit Hunters are the Charlando, Peachtree, and Great Smoky Mountains team. So it's Megan Thompson throwing lead rocks, Josh Newbern playing second rocks, Kristen Conrad Vice throwing third rocks and Vice skipping, and Jeff Bunn is the skip there. And they are obviously 100% in Ghostbuster costumes. And they could curl, or they could also fight ghosts. And I don't know, have y'all seen the Ghostbusters film, the new one? I know I'm excited about it. All right, so on sheet B, we've got Squid Pro Quo. They were the winners of the last game. And that is the Smiths, Brad and Amanda Smith. Amanda's throwing lead rocks, Brad Smith throwing second rocks, and Carol and Steve McKee. Carol is throwing third rocks and Vice skipping, and Steve McKee is skipping at Squid Pro Quo. And they are a Charlotte team, and they are playing I Put a Spiel on You, We really appreciate that them coming. The San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, Pete Shorba, he is throwing lead rocks. Adam Price is throwing second rocks. May Eaton is throwing third rocks and vice skipping, and skips rocks is Chris Mina. And they are our farthest traveling team Spiel, so they are there, and they look like they're into the first end. And on sheet C, Hot Shots, and that is the combination team. We saw them in the first game. Wes Castelli's throwing lead rocks, Tom Stanley from Triangle, and Tim Betteridge from Peachtree, and then Alan Shaw from Charlotte. And they played a very close game in their first matchup, and they're coming in and playing and throwing yellow rocks is Jacko Daniels, and that is Nicole Brown from Charlotte throwing lead rocks, Matt Kenlin from Charlotte throwing second rocks, Kevin Stevens vice skipping, throwing third rocks, and Ryan Smith skipping that team. You might recognize that name because he is also the draw master. So for the purposes of today and rules, I may have to stop the stream and go down and make a ruling. I hope that isn't the case. In curling, we don't have to worry about having referees. That everybody on the ice is their own referee, so we don't need referees. But if there is a ruling, or if I have to measure a skips rocks at the end, or there's some kind of timing issue, or they had a question, then I will be answering that during this draw, not Ryan Smith. So, on sheet D, Mary Poppins Sweepers, and that is, and we didn't get our fourth in there. We do have a fourth, and he is a relatively new curler to us, so he is a Charlotte curler, but they didn't list him on the program. And then Laura Fisher is throwing lead rocks. Jimmy Rzuska is throwing third rocks, and Kyle Fisher is skipping and throwing last rocks. And then throwing yellow rocks today, another Charlotte team. It is Sugar Skulls, and it is Lisa Maddox throwing lead rocks. And I have to add her into the program. And Kelsey Penrose from Charlotte is throwing second rocks. Throwing third rocks and vice skipping is Misty Morris, and skipping this team, Sugar Skulls, is Ann Pfeiffer, and she is, since I introduced myself, we have the same last name, she may say we're related. And so we're picking up the action most of the way through the first end. Looks like we're throwing vice rocks. First or second vice rocks, everybody's on a good pace right here. So it looks like that on sheet A, we've got red line 1, and looks like they're trying to either guard or draw in. Let's see what the vice rocks. Yeah, we're trying to. Well, we're seeing what they're doing. And this might not be according to the program, because Kristen was listed as the vice, but that's definitely Megan Thompson. So there was a little tap and it cleaned it up. So it looks like it is biting. From this far away, it looks like red shot, but we're across the ice, caddy corner from there. So moving over to sheet B, looks like red sitting 1 and 2, and it looks like yellow is lining up for a double. They're trying to knock both of these rocks out. So we'll see how that ends up. Oh, yep, it's a peel missile. Hopefully someone's foot isn't damaged. And they do both go. That was pretty. Oh, they did catch it before it hit the back. That was as fast as I've seen Steve McKee move. That was amazing. It's like a cat trying to catch that rock. So it did slip. Yeah, exactly. So we didn't get the double, even though it moved both pieces of granite, and that was a very upweight take out. So there's two yellows, and it looks like Steve is trying to come around the outside and knock those out. So I'll move over to sheet C. It looks like sheet C is it's close. We'll have to look at the. It looks like yellow sitting shot, but then it's red sitting 2, yellow 3, red 4. So there's lots of different options there as we are throwing Vice Rock. Might be on to Skips Rocks. Yep, we're on to Skips Rocks. First Skips Rock. So it's just going to be take out this red and just replace. And it rolled in nicely there. So it looks like they were just getting that out of the way. So we saw Alan Shaw do this on his first draw, that he was just like, yep, I'm going to guard again. So there's he stole his way to victory. It's not that he stole the game. He just didn't have hammer and just kept stealing one and stealing one and stealing one. It looks like more of the same for this draw. So as we get there, you can see that in the sugar skulls. It looks like Ann's lining up. We might be. Let's see. Ann is first Skips Rock. She might just be trying to tap this back or tap it out. If she catches it, then she'll get both of them potentially. We just said that Alan was trying to throw a guard, and you might be really happy with that. It's a 2 guard. They're really sweeping it hard. They were trying to hold the line, I think. But sometimes if it's just narrow, then it is narrow. So there we go. Almost got both. There you go. Just cleared it out. So Steve is now red rocks throwing. Looks like his first rock. Yep, throwing his first rock. So he's going to be looking just to draw one behind. He's got a nice little corner guard there. So he's Amanda and Brad are on the sweep, just trying to get it. It's like they're bringing it all the way in the house, trying to bring it across. Oh, now they're up. Might have. Looks like a good shot. It's just behind the tee line. Well judged by the sweepers. Just wanted to get shot and kind of get in there. All right, so the concurrent viewers is now 1, so now 1 person's watching. If you want to put your name in the chat, we can just have a conversation, because we're so it looks like Kyle Fisher's trying to just put another one, plug up that hole, maybe get it even a little deeper. He might want to try to get it all the way to the tee line. They're a little worried it might be heavy, and so they're looking for a little tap here. So Misty's happy. She just, yeah, it's just right there at the tee line or just behind. So they're sitting 1 and 2. So looks like Ann will be able to just follow that down, draw for 1, move on to the next end. Oh, no, they're sitting 2 and they have 1 stone left. So yeah, they're not too much. All right, so we have our first score. A hung 2, and or why did I say A hung 2? Red Rocks hung 2. That's Hosian, and they had a very comfortable game. Their first win to make it to this round. So it seemed like they got there comfortable too. So they're just trying to. Cam's in the hack. He's one of our junior curlers. He's curled quite a bit. We had an in-house spiel last, and he was actually a skip of a junior team. So Very good junior curler for Charlotte Curling. So he's trying to just throw a guard. Looks like they're on the sweep pretty heavy, and they're trying to get it over. Big deal to try to get it over just a bit. That first rock, it's always tough on the leads. Just tough on the leads that are they're throwing on fresh ice, fresh handles, and us skips, we tend to make them do that, so it just knocks down that path for some of the later rocks. So it looks like Sugar Skulls came up a bit short on their draw, so it looks like the red is the Mary Poppins Sweepers sitting 2. So Kyle's trying to just draw in for a third, and he made this shot the last time, so it's just kind of doing it again. Sometimes we joke that the hardest shot in curling is to make the same shot twice, so we'll see. Just looks, yeah, it looks a bit heavy. Yeah, where the sweepers are off of it, they're coming in. So he had a little backing, so he could hit that. And there it is. It's 3 red. So he kind of knew that. He knew he could be a bit heavy and still scores 3. So. All right, as we come across the board, looks like second skips rocks for our friends from I Put a Spiel on You in San Francisco. They are yellow, but red is sitting 3, and it looks like he's going to be either drawing. It looks like drawing for 1. Being catty cornered on the other end of the ice, it looks like a really tight port to try to draw. So he may even just be playing this as a tab. We've just noticed, if you've been with us, we've seen that this line curls a lot. Getting it around the guard, but through that red. So it is an absolute tap that he was playing. And all right, either way, that is a quality curling shot. He tapped from 2 guard land, and so it was either 1 red or 1 yellow. We'll see if they hang it, but yeah, it was very, very good shot to cut them down to either just stealing 1 or getting 1 himself. So definitely, anytime you're tapping against 3, that's a tough shot. So very well played there. And nobody's putting in the chat, so it must just be a silent phone that is there. Welcome back. So we have most everybody into the second ends, and going across, it's a lot of 1s. Red Rocks scored 2, and D, Red Rocks scored 3. So we're looks like they're trying to go up the works here on red. They're just trying to get it to be a couple guards, and then we'll throw around. So. Draw 3. So. Alright, so looks like on sheet C we just had, it's just going to be a hit. It's just going to be playing hits and keeping it clear. Looks like this team, this is their first game, so yellow just scored the 1. So we've got all right, cool, thanks. So So Ryan called the freeze since he was yellow and red had missed on sheet C. So they called the freeze and they had it. I mean, it is pretty well locked on. It may be a little daylight between those two rocks. So I think Alan's going to call um, pretty tight hit and just break these apart. Just give it a little nudge. Oh, it overcurled a bit. Oh, it did clip the one on the back. So, and there we go. So swept it out. Got one of those. That was the hard way, clipping out the back one. I don't know if they could have done that if they threw it another 100 times of just clipping the back one and not hitting the front one. They were almost locked on perfectly. So, but they'll take it because that was the goal, is just to get one of them done. So, all right. So it looks like Team Hojan has got a center guard, and they're either going to tap this forward or they're going to curl around. So they were kind of between two shots. Looks like Jeremy let it over curl, and it's going to be just behind the tee line. And I mean, I don't know why. Who didn't sweep that 6 feet? I don't know if it's in or not. You guys have sharp eyes looking down. I think he did sweep it out, but he took off his backpack, which could have prevented any ghosts from getting back on that one. So. Alright, so looks like we're looks like on sheet B we've got a good game shaping up. As we're looking across, we've got a lot of tight scores and a good spread on each one. Looking at sheet B, it looks like red is sitting shot, and they may be just guarding this. We've noticed on sheet B that mid blue is going to be. Oh, it looks like they're bringing some weight, and that's a lot of ice. Whew, a lot of ice, but it chipped off that, and it may get a roll out with a little sweep. Steve with the 6 feet of fury behind the tee line. So those of you that are, we got a few people joining the stream. We're just a couple of ends in, so we'll be here for about 2 hours more. And and they're looking for this little tap freeze, and that was a really nice shot on sheet B to be shot, and we're watching that where it just slid right in, and so that's something that the Steve McKee's team, the Squid Pro Quo, they're going to have to deal with. So they're going to probably be throwing some weight at this. And Brad Smith is out of the hack. Yes, this is a normal up weight takeout. I mean, it's maybe even higher than normal. He's just like move all this stuff around. So sometimes, sometimes when we throw those big weights, especially on that intern side, that's you're kind of sliding and it just hangs out there a bit, and that's what happened there. It was right on the 4 foot line. It just kind of stayed on that 4 foot line. So now now I put a spiel on you. They are sitting one and with hammer, and so it looks like they're center guarding, and so they're trying to protect their one and then maybe add one on later on the end. All right. So it's a bit heavy. There again, that line is just kind of messing with the with both groups. But he ended up with what he wanted, and he'll raise his hand. And in curling, we don't cheer, bad shots or kind of lucky shots. We just, if it happens and it's good, then you just kind of let it go. We don't have a big production on the ice. So if you see somebody on the ice raise their broom or raise their hand, kind of give the other person a high sign, then that's usually an indication of a good shot. And yeah, it's nice curling. We don't cheer the bad shots. We just cheer the good shots. Oh, there you go. Do we have a Nashville curler in the house? I thought you were supposed to be selling some ice time there, Carl. So, all right. So Red's coming in. Oh, okay. They pushed that guard in and then ticked their own. So it's a little bit behind cover. Looking for so it's looking like they're just trying to I'm looking at sheet B here. They're sitting one, they're and then they're one high one. They know that team Squid Pro Quo is trying to hit out everything. They're just trying to hit everything out, so they're comfortable putting another guard up. And from that ice, it looks like it could get in, and if she's a bit heavy, then it'll just over curl right onto that red. So I can see what he's just like, please curl. But yeah, we've seen it. I mean, we've seen this whole end. They've just been curling down that line, and it has not been curling the way they thought it would curl. They were just thinking, man, the weight wasn't too bad. It was right down to that red. That's sort of what they were looking for. It's just that each skip is trying to get their next. They just kind of inching it in, and then as soon as it gets to that 4 foot, they know as soon as the rock fully gets across that 4 foot, it's going to kind of slow down and grab and get across the sheet. So they are. Oh, it looks like Squid Pro Quo is coming with a little draw here, like a little draw tap is probably what they're looking for. So Steve McKee lets this rock go, and they're on it hard. They're worried it's light. Yeah, this was a new line. Everybody was coming on the in turn, so that out turn here at the end, it may glide just a bit. So, uh, so I don't know what. Looks like that's fifth shot. Just threw that as fifth shot. So, may that, like, if he hits that red out, I mean, he's got his eye on it. He just wants to hit that red out in this first shot and sit four, because that's going to be a big do. I've been staying on sheet B for the most of the time, and I'll stay on sheet B while it's a good game, and we'll kind of mosey on around as we go. So he's lining this up. Looks like he's, yeah, he's really out far wide. There is, I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but there is about a 1.5 guard. I won't call it really a full 2 guard, but it's and if you're unfamiliar with the names or the numbers of guards, it's just 1 is close to the hog line, 2 is middle, and 3 is closer to the house. But it's a fairly high guard, so if he can get around that, get to the nose of the red, I'd love to get inside of nose, but it is what it is. So then if he just sits that out, he's sitting 4, and then Steve has got a kind of a tough shot to limit the damage. So yeah, yeah, that's what we're noticing when we get out there. It's curling, but just at the end. So that's a really good run at it. It was a great weight. Just didn't curl enough, so they didn't feel comfortable getting on the sweep. If they would have swept it, it would just gone by. So now it looks like they got by the guard pretty easily, so they could probably tighten that up and then just throw a bit more weight at it. And it looks like Steve has called his shot really quick, so he may. There is a kind of a wonky shot that he could actually get shot, but he'd have to sacrifice his own. So he could throw sort of a hack weight at this. Hopefully it curls over, and then he gets to the inside of the yellow, and then it bounces off of red and then comes up. But he's got to give it a good amount of weight, because So it looks like they're on it quick. I don't know if it'll get by, so they're not worried about getting to that. They just wanted to tap that. So yeah, that makes it really tough. He put 2 in the 4 foot, so it makes him tough to get there too. It looks like yellow's still shot, so that's so they'll go ahead and get that. Hey, Mario. Yep. So it looks like it's going to be tough to add a second one here. There's just the angles don't look great. He probably is going to try and kind of push this back a bit, just kind of hit it and maybe get it off. But you want to be inside of this for sure, inside of the red, because you got to kind of squirt it out, and then you maybe get yours to stay around. Oh, nope, he was not going to try that. He saw the danger that I kind of saw. That is, if he's on the outside of any of this anyway, then he could end up giving up 2. So he was just like, we'll live to fight another day. So he will take his 1, go on to the third end. It was a very smart curling play. I thought the same thing that he thought, which was that, if it's a bad draw or that line's been giving us trouble, getting all the way to the inside of that is going to be really tough. And so he just said, "Yep, I've got my one, and let's go to the next end." So we're going tied to the third end. So going across the sheet, Team Hosian's playing our Ghostbusters. That's right. And looks like a close game. They haven't hung the score from the last end, so we don't know what that was unless Peter may have seen what happened down at the other end. We were focused on that sheet B. Kind of an interesting setup there. They had potential for a big end, then they had potential for a steal, and then it was just kind of a thing. So it ends up with a 1, which happens sometimes. So looks like Dave Coates is throwing a hit here on this. Looks like 6th rock, either 5th or 6th rock of this end. They're on the sweep pretty hard. Up and tick that guard over. Well, I always say guard did its job if the other team ticks it. If you were there and you got the guard out there, then you're good. And then sheet B, they're hanging 2. No, 1. Oh, it was 1-1. Yeah, we knew that because we just said it. And then the Alan Shaw team, just they're about 6 rocks in, and they are losing 2 jack-o'-lanterns, hack-o'-lanterns, Jack Daniels lanterns. Oh, and that was Alan Shaw's team. They threw it through a kind of a weird port thing. I don't know how they did that. That was like a magician shot. You couldn't have done that twice in a row if you tried, because she threw it about a hack weight, and or he threw it about a hack weight, and it was just like it didn't curl, then it did, and it ticked and then moved through. So all right. Kevin Stevens, giving him a shout out. He is my Wednesday doubles partner. We have Wednesday doubles here. It's all genders, open league. We have a lot of new. We have 2 doubles leagues. We have a mixed doubles league, and that's on Sunday Sunday morning. We call it Sunday Centers. And then we have Wednesday, which we're trying to get started, so we're allowing people to play with whoever. And that is my lovely partner. And he just drew one to the top 12, which is where the skip was asking for it. And just to the top 12, that was nice. And looks like they're sitting 1, 2, 3. It could be sitting 4 from here. From here, it looks like they're sitting 4. So he's throwing another big weight takeout. And they hit that top one. And I don't know, did it hit one of the others in the back? And maybe it's definitely not sitting shot, but it could be shot 2 or shot 3. So Alan's going to be real happy with that. Getting rid of a rock, just kind of getting them through. Alright, so after a couple of rocks on sheet C, they've moved the rocks around, but the result is still the same. It's sitting either lying 3 or 4. We can't really tell from this angle. You might have a better angle on it with the stream, but yeah, I think it's 3. They're sitting 3. And then Alan is still looking for that, kind of big weight, move the granite takeout. So this is about the 3rd time trying to get this to come down. So Yeah, it looks like they got rid of one. Uh, let's see. Maybe they did. Yep, they did, and it rolled right over nicely, but I think it's still shot 1 and 2 with yellow. And these are first skips rocks. So we still got a little curling left to do on sheet C in this particular end. Tight game, and you know. Well, they're on the sweep to get that one through. So they get it all the way back to the back. So I think now they're just sitting one. So now Alan didn't talk very long. He's seen this shot and he's called this line now 4 times. So we're gonna see if he can. Sometimes the skip just sees a shot that the rest of the team isn't. I've been there, and it's just been like, yep, why can't you guys just throw this and make it? And we'll see how well he does with it. I find that it's not the other 3 people not able to make in the shot. It was the fact that the ice was a little wrong or the weight was a little wrong, and everybody was doing the best they could. And so we'll see. He's on it. Yep. So it's also because he's a little bit of a lefty. So here we go. They're on the sweep. They're worried about it moving too much. So did move a lot at the end. And there they go. Just hit and slid over behind cover. I still think it's 1 yellow. So it's a little more precarious because that yellow is now much more lonely. So the 4 rocks up top. That one in the back could be out counting the one up top, so that kind of lets everybody have a deep breath. No, you're fine. Are you playing in this tournament? Sweet. Oh yeah, you said 5:30. Yeah, next draw. That was nice of you to come in a little early. I appreciate it. Oh, awesome. Nice. All right. All right. Here's Ryan Smith with the draw. It looks like he's drawn to the open side just to put some space between that lonely yellow, and then looks like they're on the sweep pretty hard. They must be worried that it's a little bit light. They're just sinking it in and just getting it deep, trying to make it so it's hard to steal. So they'll hit, and then it'll just be hit, and then maybe 1 or 2. So this is the last red rock. So there you go. It's pretty heavy. So they needed this to curl just a bit. So they're looking for it to curl. It looks good. Looks like it's good. It's kind of getting in there. And there you go. Hit for 1. And so nice shot, Alan. And we head on to the next end. So Alright, so Broom's up on A. They're just getting that corner guard. got three really good games going across the sheet, so we'll stay with A, B, and C, and definitely we'll you can see all four games and follow the scores and all that, and but as we've done with every other draw, as we kind of tighten up the games, and then as the draws sort of start to conclude, and the games get a little tighter, I'll start commentating on those a lot more. So we're on the fourth end, so that gives us a chance to read our next sponsor. I'd like to thank all of our in-ice sponsors for their sponsorship of Charlotte Curling. So this is My Dentist. The dental team at My Dentist is eager to help you and your family achieve optimal oral health and is designed to helping you improve your smile. My Dentists are proud to provide comfortable, painless dental care to all their patients, offering both cosmetic and restorative dentistry. Whether you are in need of a simple cleaning or a complex treatment, the team at My Dentist can meet your needs and restore your oral health. With nearly 300 5-star reviews, come find out why Charlotte Curlers love My Dentist. Contact them at mydentist.org. That's mydentists.org, mydentist.org, or call them to book your appointment at 704-375-8577, 704-375-8577. Thank you, My Dentist. That's the husband of one of our longtime curlers, Stacy Pinavilla, and I'm going to say I said her last name wrong, and if she hears the stream, I'm sorry, Stacy. I know we play on Monday together, although we haven't had a chance because I'm the fifth on Mondays. On league play, some of the leagues were allowed to have an extra sub, and I have, as you heard in the last stream, I cut my curling down to only 4 leagues a week. So Monday I'm only a sub occasionally. So we've got. Looks like Shide, they got 11. Looks like there was something wrong with the ice. Jeremy's pointing out something. So, looks like they're just running a broom over that. Thanks, Megan. I think there was imaginary dust. Yeah, there was something. So, and so it looks like they're line 2, and the incredible Dave Van Brunt just threw a shot. Their sweepers are kind of staring it down. They're hoping for it to slow down just a bit. He likes it up. There it goes. It starts to curl. Plenty of weight. They're just trying to get it where it up. Yep, there it goes. It nudged it in a little closer. Keep doing that. Maybe after 16 rocks we can get it to the tee line. So, all right, third end. Our hybrid team, skipped by Alan Shaw, got our point, and so we're down to the fourth end, coming back towards the warm room. So it looks like got everybody on the fourth end except for sheet D. They're on the third, and that's okay. They're just getting their second Scripps rocks. It looks like Ann is trying to figure out how she can get one, how she can get in there and get one, get her team on the board and kind of flip the hammer. Oh, B at B. Sheet B is still on. Oh, yeah, there we go. There. Oh, that's what we're gonna say on to the internet. So we can say that Steve McKee, you're playing very slowly. Not to put it on a fine point on it, but I will. I will put a fine point on it. Because I know you're going to go back and watch this stream, and you'll get to say it. And then we can always blame the skip for slow play, right? it's, we definitely not anything to do with leads or anything. Looks like so as I see a look around the warm room, it's a rainy Friday afternoon here in Charlotte. We have needed the rain. We have these periods of 3 weeks with not a drop of rain. I know the folks from San Francisco are like 2 or 3 weeks. We've gone 2 or 3 years, but for one of the rainiest places on the East Coast, it's rare that we get 2 or 3 weeks without rain, and then we just get a deluge. So I know it's a fun fact. When people say that, it's usually never fun. If you say who gets more rain per year, Seattle or Charlotte, may surprise you, but Charlotte gets more. We just get ours with the hurricanes and thunderstorms, and Seattle has a little mist every day. But this year, that is especially true because the upper northwest has had all kinds of drought. So we have had way more rain than that. But it's been pretty dry here. But not today for Halloween. It looks like it has stopped raining. We are going to do skip s'mores tonight. So while you guys are watching the last draw of curling and everybody's kind of filtering in, we are going to be roasting s'mores. So if you want to come join us here at the Charlotte Curling Association, feel free to come watch some exciting curling action and have some s'mores and meet the curlers. All right, it looks like they're racking those and they hung the score. So 2 red. It's a tight that felt like even in this little early juncture, that 2 is a big number. Some games 3, 4, 5 seems like a big number and may not be enough because there's a high scoring game, but this game seems to be a pretty tight game, and so 2 might feel very big. All right, so the Ghostbusters are on the sweep. They're trying to get 2. There you go. She got 2 of them out of play, knocked out. So they're happy with that. Team Hosian's kind of lining up their shot. All right, hard sweep on that. They are really hammer down sweep. So front end is our brand new curlers, brand new subbing in. So Carol McKee kind of she's been in and out. She just started curling for the first time in the pandemic, so to have 2 games in a day would have been a lot. So I think she ticked the game off and they subbed in one of our brand newest curlers. Thank you. Yep, I think we're all caught up on scores. Yep. So every end, I tell you what, I should stay on sheet C. Every end with Alan Shaw, we have little biters on the outside, lots of rocks in play. A commentator's dream. We don't have to make up anything. We don't have to have clean ends. Everybody hitting and doing all the things. All of these interesting rocks create angles and rubs and little interesting little things, and it's hard for us to tell who shot. And it's just fun to watch. Oh, absolutely, Paul. Yeah, exactly. We have the entire half acre in front of us, all mowed, ready for bocce ball, ready for cornhole, and it's raining. So we're making the best of it though here. We have a big warm room, and it looks like we've got a few folks playing crokinole. If you don't know that game, I affectionately call it Flicky Rocks. You just kind of it's a tabletop game, and I don't know, Peter. Is Crokinole a Canadian game originally? Definitely. Oh, the whole country of Canada claims Crokinole. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sitting. If you don't know Peter Strickland, he's originally from Canada, and we have quite a few Canadian transplants here at the Charlotte Curling Club, but he's one of them. And so, a lot of country pride, and of course, if it's a good game, good tabletop game, we'll say it's Canadian. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we've got yellow sitting 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to announce it like Vic. I won't say count them up. Okay, I will. I'll just, if I plagiarize, if I give homage, then do it. Is that okay? Oh, okay. That's okay. All right. Can, uh, Southwestern Ontario. Southwestern Ontario hailing. Wow. I thought Perth was in Australia. Yep. Oh, okay. So that would be confusing. Don't take a flight to Australia thinking you're going to Ontario. That can happen though with a lot of cities, right? Yeah. Yeah. Just make sure you're not going to Canada unless you want to go to Canada. Then go to Canada. But oh, there you go. That's a good place to go. No. What's a train stop. Oh, we have a few of those in North Carolina too, but this time of year can't be bad. It's not too cold yet. Yep. There you go. Take a nice walk. It, Nothing but nature out there and curling clubs, and a curling club or two. Yeah. Yeah. So out of doors unless you come indoors and it's the same temperature. All right, there we go. A nice little hack weight takeout from Ryan. Gets that guard that they just thrown. I was staying on sheet C. And looks like yellow's sitting. I still sitting 1, 2, 3 by my eye. And so he just needed to get that out of the way. And I think that Ryan is hammer here. So he's just like, get that out of the way. And I don't know what Alan was trying. I think he was trying to get over and hit it or theoretically draw down to it. So I don't know what. And so it looks like there's a draw for 4 here. Yeah, this is hammer shot. So yeah, this is just a draw for 4, and he's going to be taking a commanding lead on sheet C, which all right. On sheet B, as this shot comes in, it was a good weight. They were just trying to get it in to be second shot or second counter. It was a very good attempt, very close. So once this shot comes through, well, it looks like they're just the sweepers are on it. They're just anywhere in the 8 foot here. Looks pretty good. They're pretty happy with it. Nicole's. Yep. So there it is. Okay. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they take a commanding 7-1 lead going into the 5th end. And so we're going to make our way over to sheet B. It seems to be our closest game. Yellow has hammer, and they're lying first and potentially third. So they're just trying to get to this top one just to nudge it, just to go through. Is this going to go through without touching? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's not if there was a rock's width, it just nudged and being back there. So I think now Steve is like, okay, we've had enough of this, and we're going to try to throw this as a center guard. And Red's sitting 1. Yeah, Red's on the button. So he's just going to guard that up and make them make another shot. Could be risky. If that guard's too high, you can definitely bring some weight down to it. And as we just saw, you can sneak a little bit. Like that rock can sneak right through that back out. So this is a pretty important guard. And for this early in the end. All right, the sweepers are watching it. Amanda's kind of signaling that's T line, but it is checking up just a bit. So, and he's having the sweep to drag it just to get a little bit more line out of that, get a little bit more curl. So it looks like a good guard from this angle. You'd have to be back behind the hack to see if it was lined up perfectly. From our spot camera, it may not have curled just enough. They can still get on top of that yellow. So after this shot, our San Francisco friends could be sitting, as red could be sitting 1 still, or it could be yellow 4. So this would be a big swing early in the end. All right, here we go. Watching it coming down the ice. They're wanting it to curl. They definitely want it to curl. They're just hoping. But it looked like it got inside of that and then put a guard up. Got inside of that guard and pushed it back. But so now is the time they can be a little more aggressive. And like I always said, there's 2 ways to guard. You can throw a guard, or you can just put 2 rocks on the button. And that usually guards the button. Yeah, that's that out turn on B has been giving us everybody trouble. I was just back 8 weight, not even back 4, and it just never came over like they liked. So so again, we're watching skip after skip put their broom down in the middle of the 12-foot, hoping it comes back to the center. But if you're throwing anything more than T-line weight, it's just hanging out there. And so you can either tighten up your line and then you reckon the guard, or you can throw it the correct weight. I guess that's fair ice if you are talking about weight control, like the curl depends on the weight. So definitely fair ice. And they're on the sweep. This looks like it has plenty on it. They just need it to curl a bit. All right. Yep, go. Fight it. Oh, they just are. Yep, it just never came back. Yeah, we never want to second guess our skips, but we're just seeing over and over again that line is not curling as much as it did just a couple ends ago. So it's just like we're putting the broom down. It's just not curling as much. But if they bring it in any tighter, then it's hitting that 4-foot, and then as soon as it hits the hog in the 4-foot, it's kind of diving across. So that is what it is. So, all right. All right, Matt Kenlin coming out with a lot of weight, trying to keep this clean. So they're on it hard, trying to get this red, just replacing that guard. Yep, just replacing that guard. He said roll over, and it's a really nice shot from Matt Kenlin. Skip asked him to roll over to be a guard for that one on the edge of the 12-foot, and it was basically peel guard weight, and sure enough, it did that. So it was a pretty shot. So looks like Allen is going to try to get his team to draw in. So we're looking at a draw between these rocks, and it goes through and sticks on the button. We get claps from the warm room, folks, as you come down on sheet B. That is a really quality curling shot. I mean, it had to be perfect line, perfect weight, everybody. That's what we're here for, folks. All kinds of curling action. Got through there, just snuck through those two rocks. Finally found the line and weight. Gets her right on the button. So it looks like sitting red sitting 2. Yellow does have a final shot. So it looks like they're going to try an angle in. They're going to try to jam this yellow into the 2 reds and get it to be where yellow would be shot after this. This is a hopeful shot. This is a hopeful shot. They feel like they don't need to give up 2. They don't want to steal 2, and so that's not the deal. And so I think this is hopefully getting it to where it's out counting 1 of those, so they could just steal 1. It is just a really tough shot when you put 2 rocks on the button, and they're surrounded by that. So here we go. He's throwing it pretty wide. They're worried about it being wide. They're not sweeping it at all. It's got to be all over it. There you go. Yep. And that is the danger, folks. That is the danger. So they're going to take a look at it. He gave a good run at it, but it just hit his own rock and then did the same thing the previous one did. So there might be 7 rocks in the 4-foot. 7 rocks in the 4-foot, and 3 of them are counters for red. So I think, I don't know what's going to happen now, but there's really almost no bad can happen. If he can just put another one in, he can pop the back 2 off. He's got all kinds of options now. So if he didn't have that one on the top, everything would be behind the tee line, and you might see a big weight takeout here, just trying to get everything out so he could sit 5. But I think keeping it tight here, maybe just throwing a guard, making. I think the only. Without being down there, it's hard to tell the angles. So I think he's just trying to get. Get it over the tee line. Maybe. Well, they're sweeping it hard. I think they're just trying to carve it. Just get it over as it's coming down. Doesn't have to be all the way down to it. Just not giving them a look at the other side of that rock. Which, we're not going to harp on it. We've just seen it for 8 shots this end. We're coming back towards the warm room. Out turn for right-handed curler, or I'm sorry, in turn for right-handed curler. It's just staying out there. I guess everybody's getting a little dinner or an Friday afternoon snoozle. These are our second round A games. You'll see hopefully our next set of announcers will be in. We'll be training them up, and we'll have a chance to get a whole new set of announcers for this evening. So I'll be the draw master, so I won't have to announce. But I enjoy it. It's fun. I like talking to myself for a couple hours. At least I got a few folks over here. Oh, thanks. Thanks. You don't have to listen to it for 2.5 hours. So I have to give a shout out to my wife. It's her birthday. She is the skip of the Sugar Skulls. They're on sheet D. They're throwing yellow rocks, and It's a brand new team. They're all trying to figure out their positions and where they're throwing and all that. So um, they're playing a team that had already played a game and done really well against a really quality opponent. So they're having a good game of it. Most of these curlers on the ice, all of the curlers on the ice, all know each other. They're two Charlotte teams playing each other. So I think that the Ghostbuster team is now dancing. It's not on the feed, y'all. Y'all need to see this. We need to find a feed that is just the Ghostbuster dance feed. I can find it. Here we go. We're going to go up sheet 1. And I'll show you on the right hand side right over here. And you can't see it on the right hand side. That is sheet A. And there's our up sheet side. And they're just standing on the courtesy mark there. And there's lots of dancing going on. So you can see that. We like that up sheet view, and you can see everybody sliding out. You just don't get the scores on that sheet. So we'll go back, kind of just highlight those. All right. So it looks like, they're going to count it up, but I think it's 3 all day. They'll look at it. They can move rocks. They can take a quick look. They're looking for the vice, and they're just like, yeah, that's good. So 3 red is the call on sheet B, and it looks like they did steal 3. It's tough to steal 3, but if you put a triangle right on the button, that's the best way to do it. And so I think that is going to be 6-1 going to the 5th end. And then we've got sheet C. They had a big end on the 4th end, and they're coming back. They're going back up the sheet to the 5th, and so we're finding that out. So it looks like sheet A is our featured sheet. So I'm going to call the rest of this end on sheet A. I'm going to let all the other sheets just play out their ends, play out the 5th end. The 6th end, I'll read another sponsor. Just 2 a game. That's all we do. All right, so it looks like Jeremy's in the hack. He's looking for, it may be a little promote here is what he's trying to do. It looks like yellow's sitting 3. They do not have hammer. Red has hammer, so he's looking for a little angle, or he might think he can throw it out wide, and there's a little hole there. I don't know. That is the opposite cat corner. So he was worried about being a little heavy, but there was a hole through there. So they are on it hard, and it looks like, it did get a counter in the rings for sure, but we didn't know if it was going to be out. Yeah, it's not out counting any of the others. It is out counting the front one. So yeah, it just limits them to 1 so far. So looks like they're, I'm going to have to change in the program because they changed positions. So I'm going to try to switch them up. So yeah, I'm going to switch them up. So it looks like Megan and Josh actually are playing back end, and Jeff and Kristen are playing front end. So who needs like any kind of, so I'm gonna go put Jeff here and Josh at the back end, and then Kristen at the front end. So there we go. Josh, Megan, Kristen, and Jeff Bunn. Jeff Bunn might be throwing second rocks. I'll have to check on the next end, but they have definitely changed up their positions. And Peter, it's odd, but you could change up your positions during the game, or you cannot do that. You cannot. Mid game, there is no. Well, if there's an injury, we can sub in a replacement person. I know we should have a new feature on the fifth end. We could have a fifth end rules. Little, yeah, no, a fifth end. Yeah, no, I say fifth end, like fun fact of curling rules. There's a lot. We even though there's like 20 some draws, we could have some craziness. You had one happen in juniors, didn't you? Yeah, it was odd. We had yeah, I don't know if the mic is picking him up, but you guys, Paul, Carl, you'll have to tell us if the mic is picking him up. So let me get to my mic and see if it's picking up Steven. Or I'm sorry, why did I say Steven? Peter. Go ahead and talk, Peter. Let's see if you got.
Check.
Nah, it's here.
Check.
Yeah, there it goes. All right, so you'd have to be in close, but all right. So I'm gonna give the headphones over to Peter. I'm gonna let him tell you about the. This is the fifth. It's a new tradition here. It's the first annual fun fact rules thing with Peter Strickland. So I'm gonna let him tell you that on there. Right, here we go.
Hi all, Peter Strickland here with a rules break. So, on juniors, this past Saturday, we had an interesting situation where red had a guard in the free guard zone. Yellow hit that rock, which then caromed into the house, taking out a red rock that was pretty much on the button. And the red guard stayed in the house. So you would think in that the red guard stayed in play that it was illegal play. But in fact, the rules of U.S. curling say that if a opponent's rock is directly or indirectly caused to be removed by whacking a rock in the free guard zone, and forgive me for the terminology there, that the rocks go back where they were and the play is invalid. So boom, we had to reset all those rocks and away you go. Odd situation, kind of rarely happens. You see rocks hit out of the free guard zone fairly frequently and taken out of play themselves, but rare situation where it gets promoted onto another rock and itself stays in play. So there you have it.
thanks, Peter, for that rules break. That was great. Looks like we're into the sixth end on two of the matches, fifth end and two. So we do have a 2 hour and 15-minute timeline. We're 24-team spiel gives us plenty of time for draws, so we can give each team 2 hours and 15 minutes to get through their matches. That's really nice. So it looks like Ryan just chipped that out. And the Jack-O-Lanterns, I mean, they went all out on their dropping knowledge and skipping stones. That's exactly right. You can't, Paul, you cannot get any more real than that. We have we are lucky to have Peter Strickland. He takes care of a lot of things in our club like he's just like the guy in the background getting stuff done. All of our rock handles have we have. You might notice if you have a sharp eye on our feed that it looks like our rock handles are just a little bit above the rocks, and so yeah, we have a clutch curling, which is a practice tool for our club. So it's an app based and it's got little magnets. I think it's magnets. It's not magnetic. I thought that was sensor. Is in the magnets in the ice. That's right. So it's got a sensor, a magnet in the ice. So you can throw our rocks, and we can on an app you can activate them, and then it can tell you all kinds of really cool information about rotation, the speed of the rock. Just lots of really good information. If you're adding positive handle, if you're throwing a lazy handle. Those kind of things. So it's a very cool practice tool, and we have it on all four sheets. So you'll see our rocks have a little bit of space there, and it's the same. It's virtually the same amount of space that you would see at a big arena, at a high-level tournament where they put the sensors in the rock to see if there was if you didn't release before the hog line, or if you let go and then let go and grabbed again. So if you get red. The red is bad, green is good. We do not have those sensors in our rocks. So it looks like sheet C, yellow is, they're sweeping this in hard. They're trying to get it to be at least a counter. And so yellow's sitting 3. Looks like they are non-hammer. He's looking just to throw one in the top 12 here. Just to guard the second shot, make it hard on Allen to throw a draw to get his one. So, there you go. And yeah. And so Sugar Skulls are on the board. Happy birthday, honey. It's they're on the board. They're gonna get their one and then come back on the sixth end. All right, looks like Ryan Smith threw that, and it might be gliding. We've noticed that on C. Anything that's in that 4 foot air, inside or outside, as soon as it hits there, it glides a bit. So he did get a little deeper than he wanted. So I think Allen's already lined up, and he's going to go ahead and hit these both. Try to get them both out. If he hits this good, then he'll be sitting shot, sticking one. And then he'll have a shot. Either way, whether they hit or draw, he'll have a shot for one. So you can tell as the score gets a little bit lopsided that people kind of yuck it up. They're not. This is a fun bonspiel. It is the one, the only Sweepy Hollow. This is a one-off. You might go home with a fancy trophy. And I'm not lying about that. It is Dana Darlack, I know. That's what Ann was just going to signaling up to the AV bench that if she was a little heavier, she could have gotten a big number and gotten back into the game, but she just didn't push that rock back a little bit. Oh, Allen just got a little bit inside, just missed all those rocks. It is uncharacteristic. He's been shooting pretty well so far this tournament. And so it looks like the... All right. There you go. It looks like, yeah, we're into the sixth end now. All right, let's look. Let's take a look at B. Looks like we got our friends from San Francisco. He's getting in the hack. Is that? Pretty sure that's Chris. Yep, Chris Mina. So Chris is going to be throwing an out turn. Looks like he's trying to get to. Oh no, he's throwing big weight. He's just trying to raise. He is throwing some gutsy. Oh well, is that going to hit anything? He's tried some crazy raises and angles, and he's not scared to throw a hopeful shot. And all right, so Jeremy just threw his. Looks like they're on the yellow has hammer, and they got a little biter in the back. They got two reds up in front that are full. One's full 12, almost biting the 8. One's a little higher middle. So it looks like they're going to try the same thing. They're going to go ahead and throw a takeout again. And as John is walking down, I know it was hot in those Ghostbuster unis, especially since they have the pro jerseys underneath. I know I've worn, when I have a sweatshirt with a pro jersey underneath, especially with a full draw during a Bonspiel, it's a little warm outside. We keep our ice house around 44 degrees, and so with all that, you'll see a lot of folks with short sleeves, t-shirts, because once you sweep a few rocks, you got plenty. All of our skips, normally they'll see them in long sleeves or sweatshirt. All right, so shakes all around on sheet C. And coming back there, they were finishing up the sixth end. And they did hang one there. We're at the final. And so you can just click final there. Sixth. Correct, which is great because it's final after 6. Yep. So it should look that there. Let's look and see. Final 6. Yep. Perfect. So then the Jacko Daniels move on, and they move on, and they will be. I have no idea when the next draw is. 5:30. I mean, next draw is 5:30, but I don't know what the winners or losers are going to, because I'm not playing in a spiel. If I was playing, I'd know where every draw was going. But but he did put the in our description of this playlist for Sweepy Hollow. There is a live updated draw. So if you want to follow your favorite team and follow when they play, go ahead and click on that link, and it'll be updated as soon as the draw is done. That's fine. So we're going to move over to our two closest games. So it looks like John is going to be throwing a takeout, just straight takeout. He probably wants to roll a bit. so he can roll in. That yellow is hammer, so this is second skip stones or first? Nope, second skip stones. So he just needs to hit and roll a bit. It's a pretty big weight. So if he's off center at all, this is going to roll out. So a nose is not going to get him. There it is. There you go. Got two. He got us two and put him right back in the game. So they had two little biters. So this is going to be a good game coming down the stretch. We got two ends left, plenty of time. And yeah, yellow scored two with two biters, so it's 5-4. Seventh end, Jeremy has a hammer in the seventh, and then we got these other. They are. So you may notice on Sugar Skulls they have Lisa Maddox. We do have right around 13 wheelchair curlers in our club, give or take. Some folks come from really far away, and Lisa comes from Augusta, Georgia. She drives to our club, likes our club, so she comes on the weekends and curls. Occasionally, she'll get a chance to curl once or twice during the week if she has a day off or whatever. But yeah, definitely it's a little bit of a haul, but she loves coming to our club. I'm so glad she got a chance to curl with Ann. So, all right, so Cam Coates is delivering his rock. Looks like they were asking him to maybe have a corner guard. Looks like it's a bit heavy. No, he's playing back toward the center, so he threw the top four. So I fully expect John to go ahead and call this hit and just knock it out. Yep. So he kind of must be curling quite a bit on sheet A on that handle, because if that's that, it looks like that's more than hack. So. So, yep, he was able to chip it out. That looked like a lot of ice, and I think that he pushed it out a little even further, and then it was it didn't come back as much as they thought. So, looks like Jeremy's going to call the same ice and the same weight, and there's no he might be asking for a guard this time. So it looks like Cam put a little less on it, although they're walking with it like it might be more. Sometimes that happens, right? Where you throw less, but it's been that third rock or fourth rock on the same line, so it gets a good bit faster. So even if it's never a tenth, but ever like even a little lighter, it feels like it's a little lighter. You're sliding out a little lighter, but that path has gotten a little more worn down, so it goes a little there. So. He is calling a tap to come up there. So it looks like they're full on steel, which, yeah, if you can steel win, that would be great. But, so it seems, this is Kristen Conrad. They are worried about this for line, or weight. They must be worried about weight. Well. So it did curl back. Oh, yep, it just over curled a bit. I don't know, that result's not too bad. Staggered center guard. And that's what they're looking at. So that didn't look like it made it over there kicking that rock. So that split guard is going to actually work out pretty well if they can get one behind it. Looks like that's what he wants to do. Just get in there and get to the forefoot. It's going to be a little bit of a tricky line to hit, even if it's open. We've seen on A when you get anywhere outside the forefoot, it's a little, just a bit tricky. All right, they're trying to carve it in. Definitely comes back. They got. It looks like they might have got a biter out of that. I don't know. We'll have to take a quick look on the sweep there. And she doesn't want to do that. She'll cut them down to one. It's a tough triple. You'd have to throw a missile. Oh, yeah. I mean, you could do that. Yeah, definitely. We're talking about a sheet that's not even playing on the stream. Oh man, they hogged it. Oh, everybody was sweeping. Everybody sweep. Yep. Just tap it back. She took a look at it. Awesome. Are you going to the Ren Fair?
Oh, our celebrates Diwali, and she was like, "Do you want some?" Because
The answer is always yes. All right. So, welcome.
very excited to be here.
I know. Megan Wright, everyone. Hey, we have all kinds of guests on the, and all 6 people that are out there in world. Listen to this, man. Oh yeah, worldwide. It's going to the interwebs. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're probably all. Well, they did. Were interested in the weather report earlier, so. Uh, Scooch, Scooch, Scourge. And there's shakes all around on D. There's shakes all around. So they did not throw their last rock, although they didn't have to. So they were scored. Yep, 2. 2. Yep. So yep, they were fine. So there we go. They move on. On sheet D, we didn't have it up there, but Mary Poppins Sweepers was move on. Sugar Soul's going to go down to the B draw. We'll see those folks tomorrow. So, all right, here we go. A and B. It looks like A is our really tight game, and they're just a little nudge here, a little thing there. So they've got some work to do. Day Coates, the older Coates, he's asking for a draw behind those 2 top guards. Looks like he might be a little light. Both sweepers are on it hard. Jeremy's coming up to the top, trying to get a third sweeper. I think he just needs as far as he can get this down in. So it was not as light as they originally thought. They are worried about it over curling, but it did get in there. Get in there right behind. So he'll be happy with that shot. Just puts it on the top 8. So we're good. Thank you. Yeah. It's great. It's creepy. So we have a Grim Sweeper, but instead of taking your soul, I think I know who it is, but we don't know who it is for sure. But the Grim Sweeper, instead of taking your soul, they offer you candy. That seems appropriate, right? Yeah. If we're gonna have a little soul sweeper. All right, so Sheep B is they don't want this deep in the house. It looks like it's a little deeper than they want, but the skip may sweep this to the back. He may just go ahead and sweep this out, and he gave it all he could for 3.5 feet of sweeping. No, I don't think he was really trying, but he was thinking, I need to sweep this back, back and not be in there. So putting a lot of space in there, especially being hammer. So, all right. So it looks like we got everybody there. So we've got Dave Coates' second rock. He likes watching all three sweepers work his rock. So he throws it out there. It's a little light, but just can't tell. It's definitely a red 1, then yellow 2 and 3, and then that red on the wing didn't touch the rings. So
No, red's closer.
red's closer. We think. I mean, you could go down there and be our eyes and ears. I mean, you have to get up. Brady Gould, everyone. So, but it is close on the in our feed. The button feed is not perfect right over the houses, so we can't really trust that. We do have another camera, or this. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's close. The one in the back or the one in the front, pretty close to equal. Correct. That's what they're. I think that's what they were looking at. Um, so I think they're. Yeah, I think they're just gonna. I think they're just gonna draw now. Yep, that is in the way. Yeah, if that other yellow wasn't there. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting end shaping up. I'm just looking for. Yeah. Yeah, every rock we look away, and then there's more reds. So, so he. Oh, we got to relook at it. So, yeah. Well, she's saying that you can tap. You can get the tap to the top two. So if you just throw it draw weight, you tap tap. Yep. And then get that yellow on the other side being shot behind the guard. Yeah. So the three skips up here say, uh-oh. Yep. So yeah, they're looking at. Well, I've curled against Kristen enough to know that she's a because we like to hit things. That's it. We love to hit things. We just want to hit things. It feels so satisfying to hit things out. But as they say, hit for show, draw for dough. And there is absolutely no dough for this. And they're so wide and heavy. Maybe it rubs. Does it over curl? Yep. Yeah, I don't know what it changed some angles, and we have to talk about it some more. So it looks like red just drew for that's now they're 5, sitting 5. Rutrow Scooby Doo. If you are yellow, now if you're rooting for red, you can't get too excited because we're not going to cheer bad curling shots. It's true. And if red gets one, yeah, correct. Yep, yep. So red two makes it hard, but I appreciate the one like on draw three. Whoever that was, we we're just doing it. We do have 43 playbacks, so there might be some people watching a part of the stream. Yeah. So there you go. Jeremy's gonna do what the spirit hunters were not apt to do. So they're still waiting for it to curl. They think it's off that rock, so he's gonna come in through the port, and we know it finishes really hard on there. No, nope, clean. It's just off, and they so he is now red's sitting two. So now they've shown him that the port's much bigger. So I think John's going to go ahead and throw this and draw. And I think a good shot here would be, I mean, you got to almost, I mean, a top four buried or back four buried, anywhere in there is going to be just fine. So he doesn't seem super confident in his draw weight. They seem like it's a little heavy. He's walking away from that shot. Looks like it's a little wide. So we're trying to coax it back. Now it's checking up just a bit. That's right. All right. Yeah. Thank you. I have no idea. Maybe. So I think the people there. So it looks like red's going to be drawn for three. That will take a commanding 4-rock lead going into the eighth end there, and so it looks like red is also. Ooh. So we got one. They looks like they're sitting same 5. Every time we look array, there's a new rock, and then they're sitting still 5. So, all right. So Jeremy is there. They think it's light. The sweepers are on it pretty hard, and they're off and on. They're just waiting for this to curl. They know it finishes hard. So, and Jeremy got a little nudge, and it looks like 3. 3 all, and they're shaking. All right, so congratulations, Team Hojan. He wanted to have an official change. As we are wrapping up this draw 3, we're going to have a 5:30 draw. So it's 4:48. So we're going to just pebble, nip. We'll mop, pebble, nip. We play two draws on a scrape, so it saves our ice crew a bunch. So it looks like, so a steal of 1. Well, I'm sorry, not a steal of 1. They're sitting 1, and they want to tap this back and slide this back for a big 6, and I think that would be the end of that. So they're sliding their rocks back. So as they slide in, so we're just on B, and we're getting the up sheet. I like that. We might want to put just the B sheet show. So just draw. Because there's one with the score. If there's one going the other way, but I like that angle. And he got it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he was able to push that yellow one back. And now it's 5, so it's a 11-2 going into the 7th. So they're talking amongst themselves. Um, so they are deciding, and it looks like they're deciding to shake all around. And so before we sign off here, we thank you for joining us here at the Charlotte Curling Association. This was Draw 3. The A, I guess it would be the A, not even the quarterfinals. So it's going to be, yeah, the A quarters. Says we're playing down to 8 teams. So that was the first 4 of the A quarters. So those wins, and then they'll play down 3. So you could potentially play up to 5 games or 4 games, and you could be in the finals. So you'll see. Charlotte on C, B, and A. We're winning, and also D. So we're all kind of meeting each other. So it is 4:51. So thank y'all. If you can just put the logo with the time and drag that over. So we will see you all at 5:30. I'll take a quick break, and hopefully we'll have some new announcers on there, so you won't hear my stylish musings. But I think we did. I really thank Peter for coming in early on his draw. He will be out there. You'll get to see him curl. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in about a half hour. Have a great evening, everyone.